Hello, and welcome to the Latah Valley Fiber Co. podcast. My name is Tiffani. I am the dyer and maker behind the company, Latah Valley Fiber Co. You can follow me on Instagram at Latah Valley Fiber Co. You can check out my shop, latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com. There's currently a little special sale going on, so if you want to check that out. If you would like to message me, you can do that through email, lvfiberco@gmail.com. We have hit August, and it's been a busy summer, but I do have a few things to show you. A finished object, and actually two finished objects, and one work in progress. So, let's get started. The first thing I have to show is a pair of my husband's socks. This is the 16 of 24 that I'm doing for the year for him. The pattern is the Murumuration socks by Summerly Designs. And if you've been following for a little while, you will know that I am working through her book, which I have right here. It is the Sock Project by Summerly. There you go. There are 25 sock patterns in here. So this one is in her lace section. I am using my own hand-dyed yarn in the Easy On Me colorway. And here they are. I absolutely love this pattern. In fact, I will probably knit a couple more pairs, one for me, one for my mom, I think, as well. It was a pretty lace pattern, very easy repeat to do. I followed the pattern 100%, I believe. Let's see. Yep. Okay, I did this on double pointed needles, DPNs. She calls for a 1x1 rib, which I did do. Normally she doesn't do that. So I did follow that. And then I did the heel flap and gusset. I did 2 repeats before I started the heel. I wanted these to be shorter socks instead of all the way up to here, which I normally do. And then I did her classic toe. This I cast on 72 stitches and I knit one at a time. And then they went pretty quickly. On, I think it was this pair of socks, I tested to see how fast I knit one sock, and I did it in a slightly over 6 hours. I believe that's correct. Let me double check. The final, oh yeah, 6 hours and 10 minutes actually. So I used to knit one in 8 hours, so I've picked up the pace a little bit. They were a fun pattern. I highly recommend it. I think you can find them on Ravelry if you don't want to buy her book. Okay, so I started these in July 25th, and I finished them on 8/1. They're actually a pretty quick knit. And again, that was 16 of 24. Okay, the next project I did was my 5th Sophie Scarf. Okay, so this project I started on also July 25th, and I finished it also on 8/1. This pattern is by Petite Knit, and the yarn I'm using is by Beary Sweet Alpaca Retreat. It was a gift from a friend, and this is in their Tropical Treat colorway. It's 100% alpaca, it's lace weight. I didn't follow pattern. I can't remember, I think it might be DK that it calls for. I used 2.25 millimeter needles, and then I did follow the pattern for the small size. However, I still got a smaller finished object because while I doubled this, it might be fingering weight. This is really small yarn. So I would have gotten a light fingering. Here is the project. It did block out actually pretty well. This is for a friend. Let's see if I can do this. I knit the small size, which would allow for one wrap or one tie, or sorry, one wrap around your neck. Okay. It's pretty soft, the alpaca, so I think it'll be okay. It's slightly itchy. We'll see. Okay, there you go. So it knit up really quick, as you could tell by the time frame that I did it in. The yarn was really nice to work with, and I have so much left over. I'm not quite sure how much I used. This was 100 grams, but it was 825 yards, so I could potentially do this size Sophie Scarf 3 or 4 more times. So I hope my friend likes it. This is a very easy pattern to do once you get going. It's a 8-row repeat, and you just increase to, let's see, the small was actually, I think, 28. Once you had 28 stitches across, then you would start the decreasing. So the large, I think, is 33 stitches across at the widest point, and you can see that there is a wide point there, and then you start to decrease, and that also is an 8-row decrease repeat. So it really is an easy pattern. It works up really well in a lot of different yarns, which I like. I did try to meet the gauge of what the pattern called for, but there was no way. I would maybe have to triple or, yeah, maybe triple the yarn in order to get the gauge. So I do like this pattern a lot because it's pretty versatile with all sorts of different yarns. So again, that's the Sophie Scarf by Petite Knit. And that was my 5th one actually for the year. So I really like the pattern. All right, my next one that I cast on and finished. I started 8-1 and I finished on 8-4. These are a pair of socks for my niece, Camilla. Her birthday's coming up this next week. All right, so I didn't do a pattern. I just did my own makeup of it. It's a 3x1 ribbed pattern. I did start, again, I'm using my own hand-dyed yarn, Latah Valley Fiber Co. in the Easy on Me colorway. And I started with 48 stitches is what I cast on. And then I knit, an inch and a quarter, maybe an inch and a half, before doing a 3x1 ribbed. Now I had heard that on kids' socks, you don't necessarily need to do a heel. If you do a ribbed pattern, it will kind of wear pretty well. I'm hoping that's the case, so we'll see. I have 2. They finished pretty quickly. I used same needle size DPNs, 1 at a time, and then so the DPN size I use as my standard. It's a 2.25 millimeter. Yeah, So those were quick, easy to do. And I hope she likes them. I actually hope they fit. She's turning 6, and I didn't ask for measurements, which on her feet, which I probably should have done. Oh, so one thing about these is I did the toe like I normally decrease. I decrease one round, then I knit a round, and then I decrease until I think I had 10 stitches, and then I just Kitchenered them together. So because there's no heel, they don't have to be, I mean, they can flip them back and forth onto, they don't have to, oh my goodness. They don't have to be mindful of how they put on the socks. They can just pull them on. All right, that's it for finished objects. My next object is a work in progress, and this is number 17 for my husband's socks for the year. I cast this on, let's see, when did I do that? Oh, 8-1. Wow, I did a lot on 8-1. Okay, so this also is a pattern by Summerlee Designs. It's the classic Flea stitch sock. The yarn I'm using, I did dye myself. It's on a Stellina base, which I was thinking of bringing into the shop, but then I didn't end up liking the Stellina. I've since had some feedback that it's really pretty and maybe I should. So we'll see how that goes. I did an interesting technique. I took the bare yarn, I wound it up into a cake, and then I dyed it that way. I set it into the water and then I injected, not really, I took a syringe and I placed the color into the yarn, hoping that it would fade. And it did. That worked great. So I'll show you what I have here. First of all, I used my normal size 2.25 millimeter with the DP ends. I'm doing one at a time. I cast on 72 stitches, and then here's the first sock. I cast on 72 stitches, knit the cuff, then I knit the repeat 3 times before starting the heel, which I did modify. She puts in an afterthought heel. I did a heel flap turn and a gusset. And then once I had decreased the gusset to 68 stitches around to help fit my husband's foot a little better, then I started the pattern again and did top and bottom on that before doing the toe. Now I can see why she did the afterthought heel, because the pattern, there's a lot of empty space here where there's none of the flea stitch patterning, and I thought about doing it, but I wasn't sure, because you're decreasing in here, how that would look carrying the pattern through this area of decreases. So I just omitted that, and maybe the next time I do it, I will do that afterthought heel, so that then, in fact, let me show you the picture. Oh, she does have it on the front here, but I'll show you the one in the book. So, on the book here, you can see that the patterning is completely up to the heel and around the heel. There's no space where there's blank fabric without the patterning. So I can see why you would do that. In the future, I will do that, do an afterthought heel. Oh, the other thing I did that was different was the heel. I wanted to incorporate the black accent. So I just did I just carried it in through here. I think when I was, how you do a slip stitch is you knit a stitch, slip a stitch, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, all the way across, and then when you turn, you come back and you purl all the stitches. So what I did with that is I slipped the brown color and I knit the black, and then when I came back I purled in the black. No, I would have had to alternate on the way back. So I purled the black and then I purled the brown with the brown. So that was a lot of talking. Anyway, I had looked up a tutorial on how to do like a brioche heel, but brioche is not my thing at the moment. So I just ended up doing it that way. Is that it? I think so. I do notice that I've got a couple holes here at the heel, so I'm going to have to go in. I already wove in the ends, so I'm going to have to take some extra yarn in and go. I mean, you can see through it. Hello. I'm going to have to take some extra yarn and just go in and tidy that up a little bit. Okay, so that is the first one. The second one I have in this little DPN cozy, so that I don't lose the stitches. And I'm to the point where I start the patterning. So I finished the cuff, and then I knit, the cuff I'm doing is 2x2 ribbing, and then when I'm done with the cuff, I do one complete round of knitting before starting the pattern. So there you go. The yarn I'm using for the black is Malabrigo Arroyo in the black colorway. And here it is. This is actually sport weight, but this yarn is a heavy fingering, so it actually works out pretty well, I think. What else about this one? Oh, I started these 8-1, haven't finished them obviously. Those were the only modifications that I did. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's everything. Oh, I didn't write that down. I did modify, so 72 stitches here all the way through the leg. But then as I was decreasing for the gusset, I decreased to 68 so that it was a tighter fit around my husband's foot. So I do need to make a note of that in my handy knitting journal. Okay. And again, that's the classic flea stitch sock, Summerlee Designs. Okay, that's it for whips. I have one more item that I want to talk about, and that is a Summerlee Design sock club. So let's talk about that for a little bit. Summer has come out with a sock club for the year, and I loved her book so much that I decided I was going to do the sock club. Basically what it is, she gives you a base pattern for the year. It's a 12-month club. So she gives you a base pattern for the year, and then every month at the beginning of the month, she adds a new pattern for the leg. These are all COLORWORK, and you can buy the pattern on Ravelry or her website. For the month of August, it's $12, or sorry, is that right? Yes, The introductory for the first month, for the month of August, it's $12. I'm not sure what it goes up to in September and the rest of the year. It is a year-long club, so that'll be fun. I feel like $1 a month is really reasonable. So the first month, she actually has 2 patterns, but I think that's just a pleasant surprise that she's doing for the introductory. I don't know how that's going to go for the rest of the year, but she's at least doing 1 per month. So the first month here of August is, I didn't print the title page, but here you go. Everybody has seen this because everybody is doing it. This is similar to what she said was a crochet granny square blanket. So there you go. The next one is, I don't have a picture of it. I will put a picture here. It's a flower pattern, and I think that was the bonus. So the bonus pattern. So I am going to do these 2 next. I need to plan out my yarn a little bit because I don't have in my shop solid, well, I do. I have a gray and a green. I may go shopping. We'll see. Our local yarn shop, Hook and Needle Nook, moved location from kind of downtown Spokane to more north, which is where I live, North Spokane. In the Garland district is where it landed. So that's pretty close to me, and I've been wanting to check it out. They moved a month ago, the 1st of July, I believe. So I would love to check it out. I might go do that and buy some special yarn for these 2 projects. Besides the color work on the leg, it's just a stockinette foot, and I think it's a heel flap and gusset heel. So been doing a lot of those. Should be fast, should be fun and engaging. That pattern looks amazing. So I may check that out at the Hook and Needle Nook tomorrow, actually. So that'll be exciting. So I'm thrilled to start those. It'll be fun, a little bit of a different, because while she does in the sock project have color work, I've not, and technically this is color work, but I haven't actually done a whole lot. Oh yeah, see, she has all of these patterns in here too, but it's for the whole sock, and color work takes me a little bit longer time, and I'm kind of on a time crunch. I was trying to get ahead of, because I need 24 socks by the 24th of December, which means for December I would have 24 days to get 2 pairs of socks done. And if I'm doing extra knitting, gift knitting, anything like that for Christmas, I'm not going to have enough time. So I was trying to get ahead, and I'm currently 2 socks ahead. So I want to keep going at that same pace so that maybe I can get done early and do some Christmas knitting. That would be fun. All right, that's it from me for now. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Enjoy the rest of your summer. My son's birthday, he's turning 11 this next Sunday. So we have a big birthday bash day. His cousins are in town. We're going to be celebrating at the lake. He's thrilled and excited. And then we have a couple more weeks before school starts. So we're going to do a little bit more camping and probably a couple more days, day trips to the lake if the weather holds out. So hope you're all well. Until next time, happy knitting.